Hello, my name is Adam Fournier, and I'm a beverage director here in the perpetually sunny Los Angeles, California. And I am also the 2021 USBG Presents World Class, sponsored by Diageo Bartender of the Year. And I'm here today to talk to you about one of my all-time favorite gins, Tanqueray No. 10. I'm also going to show you how you can use just a little bit of hibiscus to spice up the classic French 75 and your very own hibiscus 75. But before we get into any of that, I would love to talk to you about a little bit about what makes Tanqueray No. 10 so unique. To do that, we have to go all the way back to the beginning, the early 1830s, when Charles Tanqueray established a small distillery in the Bloomsbury district of London. Now, Charles spent years and extensive trials to discover a perfectly balanced recipe that combined a rich, full flavor with a bold, invigorating taste, and Tanqueray Gin was born. Now, the complex combination of botanicals and spices met with nearly instant approval and success. And by 1847, it was being exported to the colonies and well beyond. It was Charles Tanqueray's passion and attention to detail that inspired in equal measures Tanqueray No. 10 when it was introduced in 2000. Now, the actual production of Tanqueray No. 10 is truly unique and sets it apart not only from Tanqueray Classic, but from almost any other gin on the market. Tanqueray No. 10 is a quadruple distilled gin and uses one of the world's most famous small batch stills, the No. 10 or Tiny 10 copper pot still for the distillation of the citrus heart, which is what makes Tanqueray No. 10 so unique. It is this still that also grants Tanqueray No. 10 its name, not the number of botanicals in its recipe, as I thought as a young bartender. Now, the citrus heart is distilled with whole fresh fruit, including white grapefruit, lime, and orange. And that, along with the addition of juniper, coriander, and a hint of chamomile flowers, is what gives Tanqueray No. 10 its distinctive, bright citrus and slightly floral characteristics. Now, all this innovation and attention to detail has won Tanqueray No. 10 numerous accolades, including back-to-back double gold medals at the 2020 and 2021 San Francisco World Spirits Competitions. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Tanqueray No. 10. If you want to learn more and add your voice to the conversation, you can join the community here at any of these social media outlets. And hey, maybe you can even show off your very own hibiscus French 75 after you join me at the bar and I teach you how to make it right now.
All right, look at that. We're at an actual physical bar, which means that it must be time for me to teach you how to make your very own Tanqueray No. 10 Hibiscus French 75. Now, before we get to any of the liquid ingredients, I do always like to do a final walkthrough to make sure that I have all of the tools that I'm gonna need to physically assemble and build my drink. So with that in mind, this is a shaking cocktail, which means that we're going to be needing a cocktail shaker or a mason jar or some other sort of vessel that you can seal and shake with. You're also going to want to have a set of jiggers or a measuring cup. Really anything that you can accurately and easily measure and pour liquid ingredients with will work for this one. You're also going to have your champagne flute ready and waiting to receive your finished cocktail. Then you're also going to need something to strain off the ice after you shake. I've got my trusty Hawthorne fine strainer here, but again, a lid or really anything to just hold back that ice as you strain will do the trick in this case. And speaking of ice, make sure that's close by. And remember that the better the ice, the better the shake, and ultimately the more control you're going to have over your final product. Now, the last tool that you're going to need here today is a vegetable peeler, and that is for your lemon twist garnish. And speaking of garnish, I personally like to prep all of my garnish before I start building my drink. Now, why is that? It's because once my drink goes into the glass, especially an effervescent drink like this, that's the best it's ever going to get. It's only ever going to go downhill from there. And every second it has to wait for me to finish up my garnish is another second that I'm denying myself the enjoyment of having that drink as peak perfection. So, with that in mind, we're going to prep our lemon twist first. And to do that, you're going to take your lemon in one hand, tuck your fingers back out of the way, take your vegetable peeler in the other, and starting at the top, apply nice firm pressure on the blade, and then pull the fruit away from the peeler, not the other way around. What this does is A, protects your fingers, and also B, cuts a nice wide, even zest for garnish. All right, now that all that's set, it's time to start actually building our drink. Now, I do build my cocktails from smallest ingredient to largest. That way, if I make a mistake, which inevitably happens more than I would like to admit, it means that I'm wasting the least amount of product. So for this drink, that means that we're going to be starting with a ½ ounce of hibiscus syrup. Now, this is what sets this drink apart from a traditional French 75. and it is a syrup that you can make easily for yourself at home. All you're going to do is take 30 grams of dried hibiscus flowers and steep that in 500 milliliters of hot water for 15 minutes. After that, strain out the hibiscus flowers and add in 500 grams of sugar. Whisk that water and sugar together until it's fully incorporated. And then you can go ahead and store that in your refrigerator for about 3 weeks, meaning that you're going to be able to enjoy this drink multiple times over the course of that one bottle of syrup. Perfect. Now all that that's out of the way, it's time to go on to our next ingredient, which in this case is going to be 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon juice. Now this floral and citrus combo is going to pair beautifully with that citrus heart and chamomile notes that we talked about in Tanqueray number 10. And speaking of Tanqueray number 10, you're going to be adding a full ounce. So make sure you hit your meniscus on that jigger so you're getting the right amount of balance. And perfect. You have all of your liquid ingredients in the tin, so it is time for you to add your ice. Seal your tin and give it a good hard shake. All right, make sure everything's still in there. Now go ahead and double strain your cocktail into your waiting champagne flute and go ahead and look at that color. That's all coming from that hibiscus syrup, giving it a nice, wonderful color and just a nice floral aromatic. Once everything's out of your tin and into your glass, go ahead and add a splash of a dry sparkling wine. Use a touch of bite and a little bit of effervescence. And now it's time to garnish your drink with your pre-prepared lemon zest. To do that, go ahead, take it in both hands, hold about 2 inches above the glass, give it a nice hard snap, and you'll see those citrus oils come flying out over the drink. And if you're a bit of a neat freak like me, you can go ahead and trim up those edges with a couple of quick cuts with a paring knife, just to make it rest a little bit prettier on the glass. Go ahead and give that a twist. And there you have it, your very own Tanqueray number 10 Hibiscus French 75.
Thank you so much for joining me here again today. Again, my name is Adam Fournier. On behalf of Tanqueray number 10, Diageo, and the USBG, I want to say thank you so much for joining us here today and enjoy making your French 75 at home. But please do remember to imbibe responsibly. Thank you so much.